G'day guys, thanks for joining me. Well, as promised, I'm going to show you a Burley bucket. Okay, this is the Burley bucket. How to make it? Very simple, I can tell you that now. I went to a sheet metal factory and I've got a little bit of this mesh. Okay, it's perforated steel. You can buy it at any sheet metal place. You can get it cut to size, and if you're nice, ask them, they can make it into a cylinder for you. Okay, so round cylinder. But this is rough on one side, smooth on the other side. Okay, when my pilchards are inside this Burley bucket, they get mulched up with each wave going backwards and forwards. Alternatively, little bits are flaking off all the time and distributing out through the surf. Okay. Now this is a very simple design, and anyone can make it. Like if I can make it, anyone can make it. Okay. Typical 90mm PVC attachments that you get from Bunnings. Okay, you can see that. Like I can take both ends off. Alright, so you can see it's been used. I put 4 bolts on either side to hold it to the PVC, to keep it nice and firm and to keep its shape. Okay, you need to keep it completely round so the lid goes on without any issues. Okay, when you put them in the surf, don't tighten them up too tight. Alright, now here, just here, these are some door stoppers I got from Bunnings. Okay, it's a little like a bit of a shock absorber. Okay, then I just put some big bolts through the star picket, also from Bunnings. So most of this is all from Bunnings except for the piece of steel. Okay, these things are fantastic. This is probably the secret to my fishing, I can tell you that. You know, people keep telling me don't tell everyone about it, but hey, there's no secrets here. We're all here to catch fish, you know, and everyone should be able to do this stuff. Like my father-in-law used to tell me I'd never die wondering. And so old Barry Perez, thanks for your tips. With a lot of research and fine-tuning, this has been unbelievable. This star picket's only 600mm long. If you're fishing surf where the sand is like a rock hard, you can reduce it down and get a smaller one. Or if you find that the sand's very soft where you are, you can get longer ones. Alright, so all I do is I put it into the surf and then I squash it down and it sits there like that. Each wave that comes in hits the Burley bucket, goes back up the beach, and then as it gets sucked back, it sucks back all the juices and all the good gear out of the Burley bucket out into the surf zone. Now I don't use pellets at all, because the surf chews them up and they're gone in 15 minutes, and quite often the Burley trail's gone down the beach about 300 metres and takes all the fish with it. So I suggest using bits of bait like pilchards or oily fish, you know, things that put up a really good smell and scent. Okay, so this is a really fantastic design. You can see I've got a mountain of rope here. It's about 30 metres long, this rope, roughly. Alright, I've got this little stainless steel rod here with an eye on it I made up. So I tie the other end up the beach above the high tide mark. Okay, with the Australian surf, these things do get a hammering, I can tell you that. And sometimes, if you get a really big swell coming through and this thing's getting whacked, after about 2 hours, it may come loose. So, and you don't want that getting sucked out to sea. So above the high tide mark, I put this stake in, put it all the way in, and I tie my rope to it. So if any event that it gets loose, I can just pull it back up. Okay. Now the trick is with these things, okay, they sit very well in the surf. I set mine up 2 hours before high tide. Okay, so you need to be a bit serious when you're setting these up. 2 hours before high tide, because you know the best fishing is always at high tide. Okay, especially at dawn and dusk. If the high tide coincides with that, it's just awesome fishing. But you've got to remember that if the tide's really high, this thing could be 4 feet underwater. Okay, so in that case, you might have to wait until 2 hours after the high tide before you can retrieve it, because you can't just pull the rope, because quite often they sit in there solid. Okay, so that's probably one of the best reasons why it's one of the best Burley buckets. And because it sits upright and it's narrow, there's less resistance against the waves. Okay, I know a lot of people use onion bags and stuff like that, and they throw them in, and then the first wave comes up and washes it way up on the beach. Okay, and then you go down and you grab it again and throw it back into the surf, and this is a repetitious thing that you don't really want to be doing. But with this design, it stays there for the whole time, and well, you catch more fish, heaps of fish. I've actually seen schools of little bait fish behind it, just taking all the little morsels as they're coming out, and then you can see some big flashes of silver coming in behind that, where the bait fish are being fed on by like tailor and salmon and stuff. And it starts a big chain of event, and then you might find something like a big jewfish chasing the salmon that are chasing the little white baits and stuff. So it really makes fishing fantastic. Okay, so that's the beach Burley bucket. All right. Oh, I've also got something else to show you. Here's another little invention that I've created. It's not much. Okay, it's just a rod holder. Okay, simple bit of PVC. I have some reflective tape here, so if you're fishing at night time, really easy to see. Daytime, you're not going to trip over it because you can see a bit more colour here. But inside you can see there's a little bolt. You actually can't see any head because it's actually a clinch stud. Okay, you can buy these at specialist bolt manufacturers. It's a bolt with no head, it's just a flat plate. Okay, so I drill a little hole in the PVC, I put the bolt through, I put a shake-proof washer in there and a nut, and I put a couple of links of chain. So now I can just hang on me towel, so after I've baited up my rod, I can wipe my hands and I don't get all the grime and stuff all over my fishing tackle, or like the reel and the rod. But one of the most important things is if you've been out there slip, slop, slap, you've got all this sunscreen all over you, get it off, alright? You don't want sunscreen on your bait. A lot of the fish don't want to go anywhere near it, okay? So that's another reason why the towels are very good, alright? You can also put a little clip on that and clip it onto your bag, alright? So you don't have to carry it to the beach. You can just carry it, clip onto your bag. So that's another useful thing for you. Okay. Also, I've got these little fandangle things here. These are a little glow stick. Okay. They've got a hole through the center, and you put them on the end of your rod. And you can snap them here in the middle. You break it, and the fluoro bit in the middle starts glowing up. So that's good for fishing in the night time. Okay. So very easy to apply. Put it on your rod like so and twist it and it's on. Okay, this one here is rated from 2.7 millimeters to 3.2, I think it is. Okay, these things are fantastic. Just make sure you get the right size. Okay, so you need to measure the end of your rod, the thickness, and then you buy the light stick to suit it. Okay, those things are fantastic. When you're finished, they just unclip and they're done. You don't have to have a light, a head torch or something shining on your rod all night because you can't see with the bites. These things are fantastic. Good idea. You can buy 30 of these packs for 50 of these packs, sorry, for about 30 bucks on the internet, and you get 2 in a pack. So yeah, there's about 60 days of fishing, and they don't go off like other glow sticks. Okay, so fantastic idea. Well, that's it for now, and I'll get back with some more stuff later on. Have fun fishing. Hope you catch a big one. Bye.